I do think that we're going to get an updated graphic with updated dates. Things have been shifted because of the strikes. I believe that their version of the X-Men and like the continuing Fantastic Four is going to be post Secret Wars. And then afterwards they'll announce their own thing, which will be like the Uncanny X-Men or something that's a completely new thing.
Welcome back to the Breakroom. We are just a week out from Deadpool and Wolverine and San Diego Comic-Con, and what surprises might be in store for us in the upcoming weeks. It's the Monday Entertainment Headlines. Hit that graphic.
Woo. Woo. Headlines.
I'm Evan, and joining me today are Hector Navarro.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And Jordan Morris.
Hi, I'm also happy to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Do I say you're welcome?
No, just keep going. Just keep moving.
Just keep going. Just keep moving. You guys haven't had you guys on the show recently. How have you been? What have you been watching? What have you been seeing that you've been like recently or excited for?
I brought what I'm excited for because I've read one of my favorite comic books in a very long time. And I've read a lot of comic books my whole life. But let me tell you folks, when I read Youth Group, written by this gentleman right here. Gosh. Look at this. I brought it. Look at this. He didn't know I brought it. This is my own copy.
I didn't know I didn't.
Oh my god.
This is my own copy, y'all. You have to get this comic book. It's called Youth Group. It is written by this fantastic and fabulous, heartful gentleman right there. Look, yeah, he brought one too.
I didn't know you. If you were gonna plug,
there you go. Let's plug it. Because in all seriousness, I was on an airplane. It was stuck on a runway, and I brought this with me, and I was like, I'm gonna read this, and I ended up reading it in one sitting. And I messaged you immediately. And I was like, this is one of the funniest, most heartfelt, most enjoyable comics I've read in such a long time. And it feels specific to your life, but universal at the same time.
Oh my god! Can we edit out my blushing?
No.
Put a filter on my face where I'm not blushing. My god!
Jump in at any point. But the plot is about a very relatable outsider teenager moves to a new town. No, is in the same town.
Yes.
But parents are going through a divorce, and as a favor to the mom, who she's a member of the church.
Yep.
The teenager's like, fine, I'll join this youth group. And like knowing all of the prejudgments you make about joining a like Christian youth group.
Right. And
she goes and it's like so embarrassing and corny and cheesy. And yet secretly some members of this youth group hunt demons. And it's badass. But they're still like naive and just really like hopeful. Well, one of them, the leader of the youth group, like young Christians trying to figure out their place in the world, and the teenager, like they just kind of rub off on each other, and there's demons, and it feels like Buffy the Vampire Slayer legit. It's so great.
Thank you.
It's so great.
That's so nice. It's so nice.
It's got queer characters in it and a great storyline that moved me emotionally with that. So this was such a surprise and such a delight. And, I have so many creative friends that do so many great things. And Jordan has been plugging this book for a year.
Yeah. True.
And I've been excited. I'm like, absolutely. And Jordan hit me up. He goes, can I send you a copy when it comes out? And I was like, yes, absolutely. And I'm so happy to report I love this comic book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's really, really sweet.
Go get it. Read
officially
it.
on sale tomorrow, Youth Group. And I'll mention the art is by the great Bowen McGurty. McGurty from the series Spectre Inspectors. And has done some Marvel as well.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of this thing. It's a YA horror comedy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, mentioned, big inspiration. Shaun of the Dead, big inspiration.
Yes, and Bone crushed it. My favorite. The expressions of these characters alone.
Yeah.
Like my favorite is this moment where this character shows up to a house, and the character who answers it may or may not have a crush on this character, and like the character who answers the door's friends are leaning over in a couch, like doing this thing. And it was so great. It killed me. It's great. Youth Group, go get it. It's fantastic. Believe me, I've read a ton of comics, and this is something really, really special.
Thank you so
there
much.
you go.
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you on the show.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I didn't know this was gonna happen. Thanks, guys. I'm stoked. It's coming out tomorrow. If you're watching this on Monday, it comes out Tuesday the 16th.
Nice.
And I will be at San Diego Comic-Con signing copies and doing panels and stuff. So if you're there, please track me down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I'll plug something that I wasn't involved with. I've really been loving my adventures with Superman this season. Great show over there on Adult Swim on Max, and it's the anime Superman. It's been awesome this season. It's funny, the action's great, the voice acting's terrific. I haven't watched all the episodes, but it looks like they're going to do Supergirl. Looks like maybe they're going to do Cyborg soon. So all those DC characters are getting kind of folded into the mix. It's a great show.
Has a season 3 been greenlit yet, or we don't know
good
yet?
question.
Because you're talking about season 2 currently.
Season 2, yeah, which I am
So
behind on, so
I-
maybe
yeah.
I've missed some stuff, but
Yeah.
it's been so awesome. So
The other,
far.
another show I've been watching that I love, animated show, Star Trek Prodigy. They
I've been
just
seeing you post
they
about
just
that.
put
Yeah,
season
sure.
2 on Netflix not that long ago, and we're waiting to hear about. And I'm hoping it could be Comic-Con that we could hear
nice,
a
huh?
season 3 has been greenlit for Star Trek Prodigy, My Adventures with Superman. That would be great because they're awesome shows. So yeah,
Nice.
no news, no Supergirl or Superman season 3.
Yeah,
My Adventures.
My Adventures season 3 was renewed this year.
Oh,
June.
hey,
So
hey,
I'm
all
excited.
right, all
Yeah.
right. There we go.
I think
We did it. We did it.
that's one I've been really wanting to check out. And I'm a little behind on the animated DC stuff, so I'm excited to get to all those.
Evan's on BTAS. Can you believe it?
Oh my
A little
God.
behind.
Oh my god.
He just started at BTAS. I'm kidding. I'm teasing. All right. I just want to say
You got-
BTAS.
you got
BTAS.
roasted.
Yeah, roasted. Hectored by Hector.
All right. Well, speaking of DC, there's a lot of stuff shooting right now. There's a lot of pictures from the set of Superman. We're not going to show any of them just because lots of people been shooting. You can easily Google like pictures of Superman filming. But I'm very excited for it. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the pictures, but it seems like it's going to be a fun time. But on Friday, Nexus Point News said that Kumail Nanjiani has been may have been cast as Booster Gold.
Yeah.
What do you think of that if true?
It rules. I
Yeah.
love Booster.
Yes,
Booster is such
same.
a fun, funny
Same.
character, and he's a hilarious character. And they cast a comedian.
Yes.
Great move.
Yes.
Kumail is so funny.
Somebody
and, like,
who can play like he's a dick, but
Yeah.
he's still really likable.
Yeah, totally.
And that's basically what you need for Booster.
Yeah.
He's a high status asshole, and it's like
Yeah.
Kumail works. Danny McBride might also work, you know. But like I think
But
Kumail's
which one of
gonna.
those two great actors is in sick shape, or can get in sick shape?
There is a yes. There is
The
a
answer's Kumail.
there's an obvious,
Yeah.
there's
Sorry,
an obvious
Danny.
winner there.
Yes.
Yes, I mean great
Yeah.
and everything, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean I'm so stoked. I think the Gunn DC movies are really going to be cool from what we've seen so far. And yeah, it's like casting choices like this.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what a good move. Yeah, I don't know. I have high hopes.
Yeah.
I do too. I also, full disclosure, I have had an actor friend of mine in my head for years as Booster Gold. And years ago, I even auditioned to be like a correspondent for DC and had done things for DC on YouTube and on the internet for years. And part of that video submission was like, I got my buddy to dress up in a Booster Gold. He's like a tall, good-looking blonde white guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, he was a former football player, just like Booster Gold was a football
Sure.
player. So in my brain, I'm like, man, I would love it if someone like him or he could get a role like that. But the reality is that with some of these roles, you can cast a lesser known actor and then sort of stack the cast with maybe better known actors.
Right.
And if, for example, Superman is someone who that name brand is going to get butts and seats. But I think with Booster Gold, I think with some of the other projects that they have lined up, for example, maybe Swamp Thing. I feel like we might get like a known actor to play the Alec Holland of the Swamp Thing before he turns it. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of it feels like that's going to be set up that way. And I forget, I'm blanking on some of the other projects that they're lining up, but it does make sense that Booster Gold is going to be somebody who people will have familiarity with, knowing what the actor can do and what they're capable of, that they're a comedian and they go, oh, okay, well, I'll check that out. I'll watch that show.
Totally.
Or I'm excited about, I hope he gets a movie. Okay, that kind of thing. So, if it's Kumail, it is awesome. So
We're stoked. And
Yeah.
then it's just like, who's going to play Ted Cord?
exactly,
You know,
that's
who
the
can
key
he play
thing.
off of?
I've
Yeah.
already seen people do either drawings or photoshops of him standing next to Sudeikis, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, that's right.
would
People
be
said it was
so
going
for
to be
years,
Sudeikis,
for years,
yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
So it would fit. It would fit.
That works. They
you
should
know.
do that.
Yeah.
If you're listening, do that.
Yeah, just do it if you haven't
Yeah.
already done it. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get that kind of stuff. I mean, no, DC's not going to be at Comic-Con this year at all, which
Yeah,
is
maybe
interesting, but
it
it kind of
is.
makes sense because it's like they don't have the kind of stuff that Marvel does, where the Monday after they're going to film Fantastic Four.
Right. I mean, Marvel's just going to have such
Yes.
it's the Marvel Comic-Con.
Yes.
They're going to have the year and
They're
then
back. They're back,
you know,
baby.
maybe DC can
Yes.
take the next year or
Yeah.
the year after to kind of like dominate, but it's like
Yeah.
there's no competing with Deadpool. Whatever they announce
Yeah.
with regards to Fantastic Four is going to blow
Yeah.
people's minds.
Yeah.
Probably Doom casting, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully,
I
yeah.
hope
And
so.
And also, like, James Gunn is shooting Superman right now, and
Sure.
probably also, I think they're starting to shoot Peacemaker season 2. So he's
Yeah.
probably just like balancing
Yeah.
his time on set. So
Yeah.
it's like you
And-
wouldn't want to do it without him.
And if
Sure.
exactly, and if those types of productions didn't want to pause for a week
Yeah.
to fly people to San Diego to just be like, well, we're still filming and we don't really have effects yet, or we don't really have a trailer yet. And just for James Gunn to be like, I'll repeat what I said a couple years ago. These are the projects lined up. Like, it might not be worth it.
True.
But next year in 2025, with whatever amount of productions are going, I really do hope they carve out the week and go, let's bring some trailers. Let's bring, let's really let's shut it down at San Diego Comic-Con. So
I think that's right.
'Cause I think there was like a hot second a couple years ago, or maybe it had something to do with COVID, of like people kind of thinking about like, maybe we don't need Comic-Con anymore, right? Like maybe we just do our own fan conventions, or maybe we do online streaming stuff. But like, it kind of feels like Comic-Con is back. And I'm glad. I like that everybody can rally, and I like all the fandoms can meet, and it's not just like a convention about Marvel, or a convention of DC fandom or something like that. Like, those are fun, but like
D23, sure.
But I think the reality is everybody likes all this stuff, or not everybody likes all this stuff, but we all have multiple fandoms that we're a part of. So let's have fun with that.
Yeah,
Agreed.
totally. Just to kind of close out the Booster Gold point, do we think we would get a tease of Booster Gold in the Superman movie? There's so many characters already there, right?
I mean, yes, I think that that's very possible. I would like to see I don't know if we have a graphic or like an image of like what they announced would be the first projects, because again, Booster Gold is not going to appear in Swamp Thing. I don't think. But like, could Booster Gold show up in animated form in Creature Commandos? Maybe not. Right. It's just like, so it's like likely if Booster was going to pop in anywhere before he gets his own show, it's likely going to be Superman. That makes the most sense.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah, it's fun to look at that kind of slate and then try to determine like, would we see Swamp Thing before the Swamp Thing movie?
Right.
And if so, where? Like, where's more likely for him to show up? So
I mean, you gotta think Creature Commandos, right? Especially because there's so many. They want to have people bounce from animation to live action, and it's the same version of the character.
Right. Yeah. And I saw somebody also compare the animated version of Rick Flag Sr. To like a set photo of that actor. I'm blanking on his name. Frank Grillo. Yeah. Like on the Superman movie set as his character, and they were like, these characters look totally different. And I was kind of like, what? No, they don't. They look exactly the same. I'm like, do you understand that animated characters are like not reality? Like, they're going to, be a little like, if a person saw what Homer should look like in real life if he were a real person, they'd be like, that's not Homer Simpson. It's like, no duh. Like, it's it's a cartoon. Like, it's an exaggeration. It was just such a funny thing that I saw that I'm like, man, the bar is high for this. If people really want like a photorealistic CG animated show, I'm like, that's crazy. All right.
Yeah. I will say no DC live action. There is some kind of cool DC stuff. I'm a big fan of the Harley Quinn show.
Love that show. Love that show.
And they're doing a panel with that and the Kite Man spinoff.
Hell yeah.
Kite Man, hell yeah.
Kite Man, hell yeah.
That's one I'm definitely not going to miss. I'm going to be sitting down for that one. I love both those shows, and I'm so glad they're spinning it off. That's so cool.
And I hope that they can keep going. I know that with James Gunn's whole thing, it was like everything's going to be unified.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mostly agree with that, but let things like Harley Quinn keep going until they feel like they're done. You know what I mean? I don't think it hurts the overall brand.
I think like DC does such a good job with its TV, and I think that like it is so good because you have all these different flavors, right? Yeah. And I think that like Marvel has struggled in TV because they're trying to make it all one thing, and sometimes the tones don't work and the budgets don't quite work, and like the storytelling feels kind of stretched out for these things that feel like they should be movies. And it's like the Marvel's TV isn't as good as DC's TV. Yeah. And it's like DC's works so good because they're like, continuity be damned. Right. Do your own thing. There's a multiverse. We know that. Whatever. We can open a portal if we need anybody.
Even when
like, let's do our own thing.
Even when it's a spinoff of the previous thing with like the Supergirl and the Arrowverse, and it's the same Tyler Hoechlin getting his own show, they were also like, continuity be damned. This is no connection to the previous thing. Like, this is a completely new story and a completely new thing. Yeah. And I think that that's mostly good, especially for the past decade or so, where I don't think there's been anybody, frankly, at Warner Brothers or TV or whatever to kind of like defend the DC brand. Now it's supposed to be James Gunn. So I think for projects where I really don't think that they're hurting the brand, they're helping the brand, stuff like the Harley Quinn animated show or the Superman and Lois show, which I know is coming to an end. But even that show, I was like, I don't think it hurts the brand at all. I think it's good. But I also understand the thing of like, well, we want him to be off of TV, him and Lois to be off of TV before this new film comes. Like, if that was a decision, or if that was like something that they genuinely decided to do it for that reason, I get that. But now I do have faith that going forward, if there's a project that pops up, an opportunity to do a project, and it's not connected to James Gunn's DCU, but still James Gunn and his team can see it and look at it and go, yeah, we should still do that. I hope that they still do it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and also like things like Batman Cape Crusader on Prime Video, like that looks cool. And
That does kind of look cool, doesn't it?
It does look really cool. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks.
I was afraid there was a butt
good.
coming.
It looks good. There's no butt.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts here.
Yeah.
No. It looks good.
Yeah. So we'll see, and then we'll see what other stuff DC might announce within their kind of established panels that they have in the animated verse. So
the Penguin has a panel.
the Penguin does have a panel.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Do you think they'll announce like season 2 is coming? It's like, okay. Great.
Before this, okay.
Yeah.
They announce a Catwoman show.
Sure.
Zoe Kravitz's
whatever.
back.
That's great. Cool.
Do
They
it.
should do this. She's good in that.
She's
movie.
good.
She's a really good Catwoman.
She's very good. She's very good.
I'm just scared that like I know Matt Reeves has worked on the Penguin show, but it, like when you see the trailer for like the Dune Prophecy show and it like looks so different than like Dune Part 2, you're like, ooh, I just want it to look the same or like have a strong visual language coherency. Anyways, before we get to the Marvel San Diego Comic-Con stuff, let's thank some of our sponsors. Zach's not here to sing the praises of Mando, so it's on me today. It's summer and we're all sweatier than usual. That's a fact. Which means it's the perfect time to dial in your deodorant game with Mando. Mando offers scents like Bourbon Leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. You could be the best smelling person at Comic-Con with Mando. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use anywhere on your body because Mando is aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. We have a discount code to help you get hooked on your favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code Breakroom at shopmando.com. Even the helicopters love Mando. shopmando.com. The only thing as good as smelling good is getting good sleep, which you can do thanks to our sponsor, Helix Sleep. Helix offers 20 unique mattresses, including the award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections, Helix Plus for big and tall sleepers, and the Helix Kids mattress. If you're not sure what mattress to get, don't worry. Helix's sleep quiz makes getting the perfect mattress so easy. Take the quiz, and Helix finds the perfect mattress for you. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US. The mattress comes rolled up in a box, and it's super easy to just set it up yourself. They have a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love your mattress. Plus, Helix mattresses have a 10-year warranty, and with Helix's financing options and flexible payment plans, a great night's sleep is never far away. We love our Helix mattresses. I personally have a Helix weighted blanket that I really like, and we think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix Sleep. Their 4th of July sale is running now, and that's true. It's extended, even though it's July 15th. It's the perfect time to upgrade your sleep with 30% off an Elite or Luxe mattress, plus 2 free pillows, or take 25% off site-wide. Click the link below or go to helixsleep.com to find out more about this limited time offer.
Nice.
All right, San Diego Comic-Con.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
That was good. Good plugging. Good plugging.
Thank you. I've been practicing in the mirror. San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios. Of course, Marvel, the brand has a new booth, and there's things you can go to and check out. Marvel Studios. Who knows what's happening? They've got their big Hall H panel on Saturday, 6 p.m. And the Breakroom will be live streaming during it, getting real-time updates from Eric Voss and Jessica. So keep an eye out as when we firm up our plans. We'll be here in the studio. But in an interview with Deadline today, Kevin Feige also shared that they'll be doing 2 panels. The other one being on Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. called Marvel Studios: The Ultimate Deadpool and Wolverine Celebration of Life.
Love that. Love that.
Kevin Feige, Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy, and Hugh Jackman will all be in attendance. You can also enter online for a seat, which is interesting because normally you have to queue up to put sleeping bags out for Hall H?
There's already a line outside Hall H, I'm sure, right now.
There's gotta be,
For the beginning.
There's just somebody who bought tickets to a CPAP convention, so they can hang around in the convention center.
Yeah, and just extend the hotel stay. And It's wild, man. It's wild.
There's just a guy crouched in one of the bathroom stalls.
Yeah.
Full Galactus cosplay, just waiting for his moment to jump out.
If it was me, I'd just be circling in my car just to find out, is it now too early? is now too early? I was like, I
Right.
just see like 3 people in line.
I park on Tuesday.
Yeah. What do you? So there's rumors that they might show the full movie during that panel.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you think so? They'll just screen it.
It makes sense just because that's also the day that the movie comes out in
Yes,
theaters, right? Or the day before or something. It's that Friday, that Thursday.
Yeah. That's
So why wouldn't Marvel Studios want to have as many Comic-Con goers as they can day one, that evening? Here, watch our movie for free. Talk about our movie for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
That's
you
the goal.
control the conversation.
That's the goal,
It's the thing everybody's excited about on the first day. It is. It's really
Absolutely.
shrewd.
And I'm now terrified that I'm going to get spoilers for this film.
I know.
Walking around San Diego Comic-Con.
I know.
Because I got tickets, but I'm going to go see it Sunday.
You're gonna see it Sunday?
I'm going to see it Sunday in 3D. Yeah, what do you expect? I can't go see it Saturday because Marvel's got a panel Saturday night. I got to be in Hall H all dang ding dong day. You can't just show up.
The man has priorities.
Absolutely. Blame Marvel. That's not
Hector.
me. Blame
I
Marvel.
might not go until Monday.
Yeah, brutal.
I know.
Brutal. Exactly.
man.
It's going to be tough.
But yeah, it's getting spoiled for me. I just resigned
I
myself
know,
to it. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, have you got? I'm assuming not, but there are like already like spoilers out now for the movie.
What? How? Impossible. That leak?
No,
1 terabyte?
They've been showing. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe they've been showing 30 minutes of the movie to people around the world.
Oh, I've seen
and
that.
it just made
No,
it to
no,
like
hang on,
New
hang on.
York. Yes.
I'm sure that there's going to be spoilers in that.
Yeah.
But that is for the press that are about to do press junkets.
Yes.
They're only screening the first 30 minutes of the movie. The last time they did this was Spider-Man No Way Home. And I was one of the people that was doing the press junket for Spider-Man No Way Home. I went to go see the movie. Before I went to go see this little 30-minute chunk, there were rumors that Matt Murdock, Daredevil, Charlie Cox was in the film. Nowhere confirmed on the internet, just like heavily rumored. I was sitting there. He comes up and I was like, this is incredible. Remember, this is before She-Hulk. I was he's in the MCU. And I was freaking out. And you got to hold on to that secret until the movie comes out. But the movie, the first 30 minutes is just until basically Alfred Molina Doc Ock shows up. And that was already in the trailers. They did not show the rest of it because they didn't want to spoil the heavily rumored and everybody kind of knew it was happening, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire of it all. So that tells me that the first 30 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be stuff we saw in the trailers, that fight with Sabretooth out in the wasteland, whatever it is. And then the rest of that movie is going to be nuts. With cameos. Sky's the limit. It's going to be crazy. So that's why I think that's only the 30-minute thing. And if people are trying to spoil the first 30 minutes, try it. Okay. Hit me with it. Oh, Patrick Stewart's in the movie? Yeah, like I couldn't have guessed that one. Like, oh, good scoop. Good scoop there. Sure, you got me real good. No, talk to me when you've seen the last hour and a half.
Patrick Stewart hates reprising that.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't seen that before.
Boy, how'd they talk him into that?
Wow, cool. Wow, what a scoop.
What cameos are you guys most looking forward to in the movie? What would really you guys be like, damn, that's cool?
I don't. That's a great question.
He's having a moment.
Yeah.
And obviously they could not have predicted long legs, but Cage Ghost Rider.
Oh, for sure.
How wild would people go for Cage
even
Ghost
before
Rider?
Long Legs, Cage, period.
Oh,
to have
sure.
him come
Yeah,
back
I mean,
as Johnny
obviously
Blaze,
a legend, but yeah.
That would be, I mean, yes, in that regard, I'm going to also say Wesley Snipes Blade.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Ben Affleck Daredevil. If the rumors are Jennifer Garner's in it, like those types, or like Eric Bana Hulk. Those are the kinds of things where you go, that would be insane.
Oh, it's maybe multi-Hulks. That might be fun.
Sure.
You're probably
just
not getting Norton back. But.
No, but could they CG Ruffalo's Hulk character in there? You know, possibly to interact with an Eric Bana Hulk who's way effing taller. It's just that early era of 2000s Marvel, especially the Fox stuff, because this is supposed to be like the Fox stuff. There's a ton of cameos that would make me really, really happy and really giddy. On top of, I do think we're going to get Hugh Jackman. Did y'all see that question where they asked him about Secret Wars? You seen that? There's a clip.
I think so, yeah.
I forget. I think it was Variety. I forget what the outlet was.
I have seen this.
They asked Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds and then Sean Levy's off to the side directly. Are you? This was a question. It was very smart. It wasn't, are you going to be in Avengers Secret Wars? It was, now that you've played these characters again and have kind of been a part of the MCU, would you be open to coming back and being in an Avengers movie? And Ryan and Hugh are kind of hemming and hawing, and they're and then Sean Levy makes a joke like, make sure to write down that there's like bated breaths and pauses, and they're like, stressing out a little bit, and they're like, just move on. Like, that was the joke.
Right.
You know they're bringing, like, because here's the thing. Hugh Jackman in some kind of a Wolverine costume, standing next to Tobey Maguire in some kind of a Spider-Man costume.
Yeah, that's
both of those actors, they're not old.
Yeah.
They're here. They're in their prime. They're still with us. That is going to break the internet. That's the kind of thing that people will go, this tops Endgame in many ways, you know? So I think that could happen. And then plus, if they're standing next to each other and then like Eric Bana shows up as Bruce and just hulks into his Hulk and it's those three, it's like, you don't even love those movies as much as you think you do,
Right.
but you will still freak
out.
the hell out.
Right, and it's like and there's a lot of things to recommend about those Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
They're not, they're not the garbage piles people talk about.
No, not at all.
They're,
But Toby has the nostalgia.
of course,
Yeah.
like Toby's great. But
Yes.
I mean, Andrew got such a pop in that movie.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm
And,
saying.
and he was good in those movies, but it was I think the pop was more just because look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't
Yes.
so much like these are my favorite movies, but like
Yes.
it just the fact that they did it is wild.
Yeah.
So.
And you're bringing up a good point. Like, maybe I'm too biased, but I really do trust the people that are making these Marvel movies at Marvel Studios now to, if they have an opportunity to have Wesley Snipes for a day of shooting, they're going to give him the lines that make him look so awesome and are so great, or they're going to give that character the moment, just like Andrew Garfield got in No Way Home, where he popped and he had such a complete redemption in so many audience members' eyes. I remember after that movie,
Him
people were like,
saving
right?
Zendaya was
It was
so
so
good. That's like
great.
maybe one of my favorite
I'll never
Marvel
forget, like, in the crowd, someone literally stood up and just yelled, "His redemption!"
Yeah.
Like, pointing at the screen, and I was like,
just
holy
literally
cow.
saying the themes of the movie.
So do I think that the Deadpool...
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay.
This gives me closure. No.
But
But
people say there's no media literacy these days. People can just stand up and yell themes at the
it's
screen.
like, I'll give you another example. Jamie Foxx is Electro. I love that casting, and then you see him in that movie, and you're like, what did Sony do? Like, I didn't love what they did. And then Marvel Studios went, no, we're gonna know what to do with
just
this
let him
actor.
don't let him do
Right?
a crazy voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like so yeah. There's so many different characters from previous Marvel and related movies that Marvel Studios could in Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, do I think that movie's going to actually have Ryan Reynolds play a variant of Deadpool who was his own character in Blade Trinity to stand next to Wesley Snipes? No. I think that's too much of a deep cut that audiences wouldn't give a shit about something like that. But seeing Wesley, seeing Eric Bana, seeing Michael Chiklis Thing, seeing some of those roles would
Chris
be
Evans, Human Torch.
Chris
just
Evans,
to-
Human
yeah.
Torch. Yes, because they might
Okay.
save the Chris Evans, Steve Rogers for Secret Wars. I don't
Is
know.
okay. Would the weird biggest pop be Dakota Johnson? Would that
Yeah.
I don't know that they.
Jordan, I'm going to say right now that's never going to happen. That's not going to happen. There's no way they did that.
I
There's no
don't
way they
know.
shot that. There's no
I
way.
don't know.
That would be
Even
the biggest pop for me.
Yeah.
I think even Ryan Reynolds, meme master Ryan Reynolds, knowing like what's a joke, even he would go, no, people don't care about Madam Web. Even he would be like, we're not spending money to do that.
He might say the line though. The
Yes.
Amazon line, they could ADR
Yes.
that in very easily.
Yes.
Like,
You're right. They can
Yeah.
slip in
Yeah.
such current stuff.
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
because of-
that's so funny.
Logan, you were in the Amazon with me before I died.
Yeah.
Deadpool's gonna say Hawk Tua.
I would
It's
walk
true.
out. I would actually walk out.
So true.
I don't like these
No.
anymore.
We went too far.
My favorite example of that is I was on vacation in Mexico when Deadpool 2 was released. And I had already seen it in the US. And when I was in Mexico and I went to the theater to see Deadpool 2 again, but like dubbed in Spanish.
Right.
And in Spanish, because it was 2018, and because at the time the highest grossing film in Mexican cinema history was Pixar's Coco, Deadpool makes a joke in ADR about the movie Coco.
Really?
And the audience lost it. Yeah, there are region-specific
Wow.
jokes that
I
they
had
will
no
make
idea. That's
for
kinda cool.
Deadpool in different territories in different countries. So like,
Where's
and
that
it's
super
and it's
cut?
the sort of at the last minute, yes, which I love that. And every time I think about that example, it does make me think like, what's really cool is that even your favorite movie, you've not seen every version of your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen that movie dubbed in whatever language,
Right.
because there's no person who knows every language on earth. And so there's contextual things that are different and different readings and different, like senses of humor and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I remember hearing that Coco joke and I was just like, that's not in the English version. And I was hearing the audience laugh and I'm like, that's so smart. So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
we might see a lot of
cool. Oh my
hot
gosh.
tuas. Yeah, for sure. Please no.
Ray Yar Yar in the chat saying it's Morbin time. That would be
That would
Awful.
be-
That'd be really
that would
bad.
That would
That would be.
suck.
But will Vinnie Jones be in the movie and he say, I'm the Juggernaut bitch? Maybe. There's rumors Vinny
So
Jones
many
is in the movie. I know.
So many great Marvel memes over the
many.
years, haven't there? I'm the juggernaut bitch.
Yeah, man, the internet was a different time. 2006.
So that's the Deadpool panel. Then we think
Great.
they'll show the film. They might announce that they're going to come back for one of the already announced movies, right?
Avengers, yeah.
But their main panel on Saturday, when asked about the plans, Kevin Feige said, "We build movie schedules oftentimes, and obviously with the pandemic and the strike that threw a wrench into it for a few years. But what we're able to do this time is to get back to literally designing our film schedules around what we would have ready to show at Comic-Con, to announce, set the expectations and the tonality of what's to come over the next couple of years." This feels like new timeline graphic, new phase graphic, right?
Yep.
Do we think they announce new films to fill in dates, or do we think that everything starts getting pushed? We have the end of phase 5. I think we can pull up right now. So this is we're in Deadpool. We're at the Deadpool sign.
And these have been all of the confirmed release dates, because that's when Captain America: Brave New World is coming out.
Yeah.
And Ironheart is, as far as we know, coming out next year.
Yes, I think so. And then we
And
have
Daredevil,
some kind of placeholders right now for Daredevil and Agatha. Agatha is September, yes, and Daredevil, we're thinking beginning of next year, hopefully around the same time that Echo came out. Then also phase 6 too. I think these dates are all good as well
For the films,
Thunderbolts,
at
yeah,
least.
for all
I
the
don't know
films.
about the Disney Plus shows or what
Yeah.
because there's like Wonder Man. We know is coming out at some
yeah.
point. We don't
Right.
know. We don't know
Did
when.
they cast Wonder Man recently? Did I miss that?
Yeah, they cast and they filmed it.
Okay.
It's Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who plays Black Manta in the Aquaman movies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun casting.
and he
There
was
was-
Dr.
I like
Manhattan
that.
in Watchmen.
And
He's
even
great.
as of today, there was an announcement of another casting for Wonder Man.
Oh, okay, cool.
But they didn't say who the character was, and I was just like, oh, I wonder if this is just like one of those things where it's like, oh, this actor was in it the whole time, but now we're getting ready to share Wonder Man news.
Could be.
Or it's like an animated thing, or they're doing reshoots. I don't know.
Okay,
But,
could be.
yeah.
Interesting. So what's your question, Evan, about that? Are you asking, like, what
Yeah.
do we think they're going to
Do you-
literally announce?
Yeah, do we think they'll add, or like, and the things that they will announce, like if it's new movies or new projects, do those start filling in time between the movies, or do we start pushing everything back a little bit more? Like a Shang-Chi 2, right? Would they
Oh,
announce
that's
Shang-Chi
right. I
2?
forgot we still
Right.
have Shang-Chi 2. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh God, I forget the name of the actor who plays it.
Simu Liu?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he said that like it's still
It's coming.
happening.
Yes,
He
for
said
sure.
many times they're still working on it.
And there is also the thing of the last time they had a big Comic-Con announcement panel, Feige specifically was like, we didn't even talk about Fantastic Four. We didn't have time to talk about mutants.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
the panel, everybody. And then they brought
That's
out
that's the one where he
Blade.
points at Matt Shackman, right? And
Yeah.
he sits down or whatever,
really?
or
Yeah.
John Watt. I forget whoever was directing. at the time.
Right. So,
Yeah.
here's a question then. Do we think, because there's also been rumors about shifting from Kang,
Yeah.
whether they're going to recast Kang or they're just going to leave him in the quantum realm and
Yeah.
not pick up any of the sort of threads with the Council of Kangs? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope that they recast the character. Do we think that Avengers 5 has a different name and Avengers 6 will still be Secret Wars? Do you think that will be the bit like? And now Avengers is this.
So, okay, you can two
Yeah.
birds with one stone then
Yeah.
if you announce Doom, and
Right.
then it's like, and then the new Avengers subtitle is,
Doom War
the
or
Doomiverse.
something. Yeah, something. Okay, could be that.
Battle World. It's just called Battle World.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that we're going to get an updated graphic with updated dates. Things have been shifted because of the strikes. Things have been shifted. And I also think that I don't know if we're going to get anything past Avengers Secret Wars, let's say, the end of Phase 6. Because I believe that their version of the X-Men and like the continuing Fantastic Four is going to be post Secret Wars, but I don't think they're ready to do that. I think they want to keep the focus on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's celebrate Hugh Jackman. Let's love Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. We got Kelsey Grammer voicing Beast still. Let's focus on that.
Yeah.
Do Secret Wars, do it big, and then afterwards they'll announce their own thing, which will be like the Uncanny X-Men or something that's a completely new thing. So I don't think we're getting like an X-Men movie announcement.
Interesting.
Yes, because
Okay.
they're just waiting for Secret Wars. That's the big show.
That's true. Yeah, and then that is the big like reset, right? Like I think a lot of people too in the chat right now asking about like team up movies. Like, do you think they announce a Midnight Suns or a Young Avengers? Young Avengers
Midnight
feels
Suns
right.
would be neat. I didn't even think about that. And the thing, what reason I'm so focused on Wonder Man is because I love the West Coast Avengers.
Yes, which that could be a movie or a show. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, and West Coast Avengers, it's a little more comedy. It's a little lighter. It's a little more funny. It's Wonder Man and all these kind of B C-list Avengers in LA. I don't know. I always kind of want them to do that. And
Yes.
I think it's Wonder Man is the first little seed that they.
I agree. I would love that. I'd love for Wanda to come back so she could also be West Coast Avengers, because I think her and Vision were for a long time, and then it turned into Force Works. But the point is, I also think that West Coast Avengers, with the mostly adult characters in the roster, that might be a post-Secret Wars, because my theory is Young Avengers is going to be a Disney Plus show that will literally lead into the next Avengers film, which is going to be, there are no Avengers, but when the young ones show up and they're getting themselves into trouble, that's when Sam Wilson, Carol Danvers, Stephen Strange, they go, you know, Sam, we need a Captain America and we need an Avengers. And we need to take responsibility. These young people are doing it in our name. And that's when they decide to build, and they go, well, we need to be responsible. We'll have an East Coast and a West Coast branch. And then post Secret Wars, we get West Coast Avengers.
Wow. I love that.
And then also on Disney Plus as a comedy series, Great Lakes Avengers, which is not affiliated.
That's right.
But it's a bunch of losers being like, we're the Avengers too. And it's like, no, they're not affiliated with me. Like, that's going to be that show.
There's so much.
There's so much stuff. Yeah, but Midnight Suns would be rad because I think it would give audiences an indication of like what they're planning to do with the supernatural characters. That's the obvious end game. That's the obvious version of that. But Midnight Suns could also be a post. But how fun would it be if it was pre-Secret Wars and then in an Avengers movie, the Midnight Suns show up? Like, the Avengers are there doing stuff, She-Hulk, and then like Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing and Blade show up, and people are like, who the hell are these? What are they doing? That'd be great.
They just used, they say Don Cheadle's line, Iron Man 2. They're like, I'm here.
Deal with it. I'm a werewolf. Deal with it.
GSU Eagle and Ryan Painter in the chat, and I'm sure a lot of other people were asking, but like, do we get an update for Blade? And I mean, we got it, right?
What's the last status? Is that the other director walked away from it? Like that they parted ways? Yeah. I don't know. What would they have to show? They're not gonna have a trailer.
That's true.
They're not gonna have, and it's again, I've seen the conversation go both ways. Why can't you get it right? It's a guy hunting vampires. But 2 out of the 4 major Blade projects are bad. Blade Trinity and the Blade TV show are bad. So it's not as...
I've never seen the Blade TV show.
See?
I have some vague fond memories of Trinity, but I haven't watched it since years.
So it's not as easy as it's a cool badass hunting vampires. Like, they want to get it right. And then the other thing I've seen the internet in the past decade is go, Marvel just sets release dates and then just releases slop. And we eat it up. And here they are, like, making sure it's good.
It's good, yeah.
And everyone's like, just release it or just get it out.
Just crap it out.
And I'm like, do you want it to be good?
Have him say ice skating uphill. That's all we care about.
So, I don't know. I'm not jonesing for an update.
Yeah.
I want them to nail it.
You're right. They should.
You know? And so maybe the thing that would make people happy about Blade is if they did just announce, and he'll be in Midnight Suns, and he'll be a part of this, and this is where the characters are going. Yeah. So
we will still do a solo movie, but you will first see him in
after Blade. You will see Midnight Suns. Yeah. So maybe people go, sick, and then stop complaining about the fact that they're figuring out Blade.
Or they have Mahershala on stage with like, this is the new director, and we go into production.
That would be great
next week.
But you know what would be better? If he's standing on stage with Gael Garcia Bernal and Oscar Isaac, and they're like, "We're the Midnight Suns," I'd be like, "Oh shit, that's so cool, dude!"
It is always not to just like feed this theory.
I know.
It's always interesting to look at what Marvel is doing in the comics and then what they announce, because it does seem like they set the table, or there's a kind of a sense of like, let's see if people like this.
There's some synergy. There's some synergy.
Aren't they doing a big vampire thing in Marvel continuity?
Yes, they are. The Avengers are fighting Dracula or whatever. So yeah, that'd be dope. Or if they announce like, and in the Blade movie, he's fighting Dracula, and this is the actor, and it's some actor everyone loves. Come on, that'd be amazing. Let's keep.
You're right.
Let's keep
Bring
speculating.
in Dracula. Bring it up. Bring in Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly.
Avengers : Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. Living Mummy is the Marvel Comics version of the Mummy.
Oh yeah.
It's I think it's like, is it dial Z for zombie or just Z for zombie? I forget what it is. There's like a zombie character. Do all that shit. It's great.
Just do it.
Do it. Frankenstein's monster. That'd be great. Man, so good.
I have one more point to touch on with the Marvel stuff, but before we do that, I want to thank one more sponsor today, Kalshi. Kalshi is the first legal financial exchange in the U.S. where you can bet on any event, including who's going to win what or who's going to score how high on Rotten Tomato scores. So, for example, if Twisters is getting above a 75 on Rotten Tomatoes, it's trading at 50 cents. If you buy a share for 50 cents, and it does, you'll earn $1.
Oh, nice.
If the share price goes up to 80 cents or something before the results are announced and you sell it, you'll get 80 cents. So right now, Zach and I are competing. We got different odds on Twisters. He's bought shares of Twisters going to be above 75. I believe in Twisters. And I said it's going to be over 85.
Whoa.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I think this might weirdly be the summer of Twister.
I'm thinking about the meta. I'm thinking about, but we'll see. So, stay tuned into the break room, find out who wins and how I rub it in Zach's face, what I do with the money. It's kind of like fantasy football, only for the entertainment industry. It's super fun. You can make some money doing it. There's a ton of different markets, including music, climate, economics, tech, games, and more.
What's the over-under right now on Mahershala Ali, Gael Garcia Bernal, and Oscar Isaac showing up at Comic-Con on stage and announcing Midnight Suns?
Here's the thing. I bet it's 10% that it would happen, and I would take that 10.
Yeah,
I would take that 10.
Easy money.
Easy money. I'm not getting on that action. Easy money.
You can sign up for Culture using the link in the description, make a deposit of $50, and the first 500 traders will get a free $20 credit. And of course, check out nerdriot.shop. We have the Choose Your Fighter shirt. We've got a bunch of stuff coming out soon for Deadpool and Wolverine, a really fun shirt and mug design that
Choose Your
is gonna be
Fighter.
great.
Sick.
Oh,
Yeah,
I haven't
this one's
seen
fun.
that.
Look at that. Miss Minutes on the
whips
Wolverine
ass.
side.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that Gambit? Was that Nick Fury?
Miss Minutes feels more like a
that-
sidekick character in
I need
this
to
game,
see.
right?
I need to see that T-shirt up close because
Okay, I
for
think we
those
got one in
characters.
the office.
Okay, I want to see that.
That rules.
Yeah.
That does.
I have
rule.
not seen that
That's
one.
so
Good
cool.
shirt.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Hey, check out nerdriot.shop so to support all three channels.
Yeah, and if anybody watching also makes some money on that for real Midnight Suns bet, Venmo me $20 because you got the idea from us. Please, can you Venmo us $20 each? Thank you.
What are our Venmo handles?
Yeah, Venmo. Hector is funny. No, it's not. It's not. Sorry.
With the last point I wanted to touch on with the Marvel panel, last week we got a trailer for Agatha.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah.
Do you think they push those trailers out early for any reason? That there's something even bigger at the end of this?
Well,
or
that's
what
interesting.
else?
I hadn't thought about that.
What else is next year? It's Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
But you know what I think we're gonna get for Fantastic Four? I think we're gonna get a sort of high definition. Here's what the Thing is gonna look like like concept art, because they haven't started filming yet.
Right. Yeah.
And I have been to many a Comic-Con Hall H panel. And years ago, in 2007, when they did the year before 2008, which was the Incredible Hulk, they just showed us the concept art of like that Edward Norton Hulk, and people were like, "Whoa, he looks so different than the Ang Lee Hulk." And then years later, in 2010, I think, the year before Captain America: The First Avenger, they had only been filming for a week, and they still showed up. And then they showed the only scene they were filming for a week, which was the Red Skull showing up to try to get the Tesseract.
Yeah.
So it's that whole scene of like, it's taken me a long time to find this place, and it was like no special effects.
Nothing,
But I think that they purposely filmed it in the previous week because they knew it would need no special effects, and they're like, we want to cut something and show Comic-Con. Do I think they're doing something like that for Fantastic Four? No. But I do think we're going to see the Thing.
Yeah.
We might hear the actor say, it's clobbering time, and we might hear the other actor say, flame on.
Yeah, that's true.
Like on a panel,
I would love to hear Clobber in time.
I mean, it's gonna, that's so nerdy.
But everyone would be like,
they're gonna hand out like
they're just gonna punching each other.
They're gonna hand out to the crowd in Hall H the Thing like Hulk glove, but like the orange ones. Everybody's gonna be going like this.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so sick.
It would whip ass. You're right. Yeah, dude, it would. It would rule.
So cool. Now, if all this doesn't happen, I'm gonna be bummed.
Sorry, man. I should be programming Comic-Con panels. I don't know.
Listen.
Marvel Studios, call me.
I mean, also in that same
Who's
vein,
in your marketing department?
Also, in that same vein, we probably would get a scene like that from Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolts has been
filming. We might even get a trailer, dude, or a scene.
Forgot all about Thunderbolts.
We might. Well, how do you guys feel about that Thunderbolts not being the real title? Do you think we're going to get a reveal?
Oh, the title reveal
after Captain America. I think maybe after Brave New World comes out in February, then they'll announce it.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about on the trailer comments. They were saying like, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if it was like a part 1, part 2?"
Could be.
Know?
Or they just change the name to Dark Avengers.
Yeah,
to
that's
really
true.
lean into like
Right.
the government, Thunderbolt
Yeah.
Ross or President Ross, like sanctioning this team, and it's it's their version of the Avengers because there's no Avengers, and that's why the kids again they pop up and they're like,
This
we'll do
all
it.
works. This
And then the
all
West
works
Coast Avengers,
perfectly.
baby!
Yeah.
Oh man, then we get the champions. No, I'm kidding. In LA, based out of UCLA, there's weird comic. Yeah.
I think the only other thing that maybe that we haven't touched on because we've had some like big speculation on stuff that could come out, but the only title that we really haven't talked about, I guess, is Vision Quest.
Oh.
Would we get an update to the show about White Vision?
I think so.
Yeah, that it's like actually gonna happen.
Yeah, release date. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing that gets people stoked on the TV side. 'Cause I would assume it was Agatha because
Right.
people general feelings of stoke for Agatha, right?
I think so,
I'm
yeah.
excited
Cool people.
for cool people. Are
Just
stoked.
cool people are stoked. Cool people.
Let's go.
But yeah, maybe that's the only thing that's
Yeah.
maybe a little more exciting than Agatha.
This Vision Quest.
Vision
Yeah, what
Quest,
else-
Wonder
what else
Man.
is
I mean, a season 2 of any show that like Moon Knight
Sure,
or like
Ms. Marvel.
Miss
that
Marvel.
would also be great. That
if
would
for
be
some
killer.
reason they're like
That would
season
be
3
killer.
Loki, I think everyone would be like, what?
You guys,
We're done with that.
You're right.
You got it.
You're right.
You guys
you're
are
right.
good.
He lives in the tree. He lives in the tree.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
what does he do?
Or a real release date for Ironheart, right? And then that's
Oh, yeah,
otherwise like
And maybe you see Sacha Baron Cohen. Maybe you see a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit of Sacha
yeah.
Baron
We
Cohen.
see him
Mephisto,
pop up, yeah.
That could be fun.
I wonder if they would do anything because Marvel Animation is going to have their own panel at
Yeah.
D23.
Yeah.
So animation stuff aside, I saw someone in the chat earlier was asking like, do you think they'll announce any Marvel Spotlight titles? Any kind of like more of these street? Do they announce
Could be.
Defenders for real? Do they,
What was
Ooh.
where did people land on Echo? I'll admit I didn't watch it. I heard generally nice things,
Yeah.
but do you think people liked it? Do you think that the Marvel what's the name of the brand that it's under?
the Spotlight banner?
Spotlight. Do you think that was successful enough so they will do more
Ooh,
spotlights?
That's a good question. I don't know. You know what else I just remembered that we might for real get in the Saturday panel is a Daredevil trailer
Right. Yeah.
for the
cool.
show. That's going to be the big Disney Plus. That's the big show.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think, and I would also love to see Echo in the Daredevil show.
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
great. But I think that from what I saw, people who watched the show liked it.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know if a lot of people saw it. But then apparently the news was no, it was very highly rated and like did really well on Disney Plus. So I'm hoping that something like that could get another season, another spotlight, another whether it's a full 5-episode season or even just a one special.
And it also seems that like if Marvel's going to spin off to be like Marvel Animation, Marvel Television,
Right.
like that allows them to be like, okay, we can do Spotlight as its own thing as
Sure.
much as they can claim it's its own thing
Sure.
because their resources can be like scattered however you want to talk about it or diverted. But yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting Marvel Comic-Con, right? There's definitely stuff to look forward to there. But as you were saying before, Jordan, it's not just Marvel at Comic-Con.
Yep.
There's a ton of other stuff happening. Are there any other panels or any other things that you guys are excited to see there? Jordan's panel?
Yeah, you bump the ball. I might as well spike in. Hey, and this does not compete with Hall H. So.
That's true.
Thank God. So I am doing a panel Friday, June 26th. I'm reading it off my phone. 1 p.m. It is called Graphic Novels and the Real World. It is in room 23ABC, and we will be talking about Youth Group.
That's a good one.
With a bunch of good comics writers talking about new books. One of them is Jean Lewin Yang, one of my favorites, one of the best to ever do it.
He's the best.
He's great, and he wrote Shang-Chi. He's written Superman. He's a great, fascinating dude.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about our books.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
After that panel, 2:30 to 3:30, I'm going to be signing at Autograph Area AA09. And on Saturday, June 27th, 5:30 p.m., I'm going to be signing at the First Second booth, the lovely publisher who put out Youth Group.
Yeah, right there.
That's number 2800. So I hope to see folks at Comic-Con. I'd love to personalize some books. I'd love to write what is he cooking on some people's books.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So thanks.
Make sure you're following Jordan for all that info on social media in case you were trying to scramble, write all that info down.
People watch this with a pen, right? I was right to just say all
I
that.
think so.
Taking notes.
It's
That's a
required
good,
viewing.
Midnight Suns. That's a good idea. I'm gonna bet on that.
Get your
I'm
pens
definitely
out.
Clobber in
Get your pens
time.
out.
Wow, cool. Let me see that.
Yeah.
That's a big
fun.
pen.
You want one?
I would love a huge pen. Thank you. This is a
fun.
perfect way to write down Comic-Con info.
Nobody in the chat explained to them why we have pens. Keep
got
it a
it.
secret.
And as far as like stuff that we haven't mentioned that I'm stoked for, There's a Simpsons thing. There's a Futurama
Yeah,
thing. Some of my
yeah.
favorite stuff.
Cool.
Alien Romulus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
that's
think
right,
Alien
big
Romulus
panel.
is going to kind of whip ass. I
Yeah,
have high
I hope
hopes
so.
for it.
I
One of
hope
my
so.
favorite franchises.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Here's hoping it's
That would
good.
be great.
I'm hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Hall H all day Saturday. But good news is they're also doing a Star Trek universe panel like in the middle of the day before the Marvel one later on in the
nice.
afternoon. And I'm really excited about that. I hope that they announce after this CBS Paramount merger with Skydance is maybe finalized. I hope that they announce some new Star Trek shows.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since they've announced new stuff.
Star Trek's kind of on a roll.
They
isn't
are,
it?
but I think they really did sort of pause, I believe, because they were like, well, this merger is going to happen.
Sure.
Because people kept asking him for years, especially after Picard season 3, people really wanted to see like a continuation of that. And Kurtzman was like, it's above my pay grade. And it's like, you're the main guy. What do you mean? What do you mean it's above your pay grade? Because all the executives and bean counters have to like green light the budgets. So hopefully we get some announcements, and I'm hoping Star Trek Prodigy Sunday morning can announce that they got a season 3.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
cool.
More Strange
Yeah.
New Worlds. Love that show.
Yeah, great show.
We're also going to be in a post The Boys finale
Cool.
universe.
Oi.
Oi. And then don't say the second word.
Huey.
There you
The
go.
second word is Huey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I am not cut up. I bet this is great. I bet whatever this is a reference to is awesome.
Huey.
I gotta catch
He's
up.
probably just talking about the C word. That's all, because that's all he says. Billy Butcher says that's all he says.
Yeah, that's all he says.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, so the finale, and then season 5 is supposed to be the last season. So I'll be interested to see what kind of news they share about the upcoming season. If they announce, I know a lot of people who are fans of Eric Kripke's work on Supernatural, like he loves to bring actors back. If he brings anyone back from those shows to kind of star in the last season, we'll see.
That'd be cool. Good to know.
Yeah,
Good to know.
and hey, I would be seated if I was there. I'd be seated for the Percy Jackson panel.
Yay!
Oh.
For the TV show, the
Yeah,
Disney
for the
Plus show.
TV show.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love what they're doing there, so I'm excited to see what they announce. If they announce some new cast members for the second book. Second book's a ton of fun. Don't know how they're going to do it on a TV budget, but I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, keep an eye out for our kind of coverage here on the Breakroom for Comic-Con next Saturday. We'll be publicizing what our live stream situation is as much as we can and on all the social platforms. But that's it for us today. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do these videos live. Guys, where can the people find you on the internet?
Find me on the internet at Hector is Funny, and then follow Jordan for all the info that he just talked about earlier. Comic-Con. It's going to be a blasty blast.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I will say one more time, just because, that's what we're doing. It's Youth Group. It is a graphic novel from me and artist Bowen McGurty, and it comes out the 16th, which, depending on when you're watching this, might be now. So Amazon, Barnes & Noble, better yet, your local indie bookstore or LCS. Yeah, it's funny. It's spooky. It's a story with a beginning, middle, and an end, so you don't need any. Previous. Ooh, there's a spoiler right there.
Whoa!
Don't look at that panel.
Blur that frame.
Whoa! Look at that! Whoa! Spooky fun times. It's
So
so
yeah,
good.
check it out. You don't need to know anything going in. It's got a beginning, middle, and an end.
Oh, nice. That's so
and I
funny.
hope people check it out. I'm really proud of it, and I hope folks check it out. It can be hard
check it
for
out.
comics that don't feature Batman sometimes to find traction. So
True.
we love folks taking a chance.
Is there a little bat in it?
Look how great that
I
is.
know.
That
Look
part
at their
is so
little
great.
faces. Look at their little faces. Bowen's a genius with the expressions for sure.
Nice.
I don't think there's any bats in it. That's my mistake. I should have written some bats.
No, that's okay. Be a batless comic. It'll work. All right, follow Breakroom on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads, and we'll see you all later.